Welcome to the Wild Wellbeing Show. Very happy to see you all this week. I'm Joel Gazdar and today's show is about the giant red-fleshed sweet cucumber, otherwise known as the watermelon. Now, with all foods, I do love to eat the very best of them at the best time of year. This is the time of year to get your watermelon on. The rest of the year, the supermarkets sell their small, seedless, infertile watermelons, and really, why would you want to eat something that's pretty tasteless, hasn't got much texture, and is infertile? It's got no seeds, it's got no spunkiness to it. If we want to be full of spunkiness, if we want to be seedy, then perhaps we want to eat things with seeds. Things with seeds are infinite things because they can give birth to more and more of themselves and they perpetuate infinity. They perpetuate vitality. When we eat seedless things, then we become seedless. Do any of you guys out of there want to be seedless? Do any of you women out there want to perpetuate seedlessness? No. Generally, size when it comes to watermelons often does count. Now you can get some great organic watermelons, it's not so easy. Smaller seeds and they tend to be smaller. There really are a different variety that you tend to get in England are the organic watermelons. And they're great, and of course we always promote organic agriculture and biodynamics and wildcrafting here. It just happens though, the tastiest watermelons that we can get in London are these Mediterranean ones, and some of them are maybe organic certified and a lot of them aren't. But you've got to listen to your inner guidance. And if your inner guidance is telling you you like the best watermelon in town, you've got to find the best watermelon. Maybe it's certified organic, maybe it's not. Apart from size, what is quite often seen as the best way to pick a watermelon is to listen for the sound of watermelon. You want it to sound as much like a woo 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 drum sound as possible rather than a dull thud. You really want to look for that hollow sound, and the more it reverberates is generally a very good sign that it's right. It's just about the highest water content food on the planet. A brilliant, living, fresh, rejuvenating, revitalizing water. Watermelons are anywhere between about 92% and 97% water. Awesome water. Water that nature has filtered and hydrated and charged up for us. When we're talking big watermelon, you want to make sure you buy a watermelon that fits in your fridge unless you're going to eat it in one go. The bigger they are, the riper they tend to be, but you want to make sure you can fit that in your fridge. So, because you can really blend between 1 litre and 2 litres a go unless you want to use it for something else, we're going to do a gorgeous, what we like to call a watermelon orgasm smoothie today. That'll help us get all those wonderful red coloured lycopene carotenoids into our body, which is great for our cardiovascular health. Not only that, but the benefit of nitric oxide, which is the definitive working factor in a little product you might have heard of called Viagra. So yes, indeed, just like every fresh fruit and vegetable, really, it's an aphrodisiac. So, I like to cut into the watermelon along its stripes, if it's a stripy one, which are the ones we tend to get in London. And again, I do really recommend you buy your watermelons from your local ethnic store or an organic store, of course, rather than a supermarket, because they tend to produce mass quality products. What I really love to make this watermelon, a supercharged watermelon recipe, is to add in some greens. Now, if it's an organic watermelon, you can do the skin. Otherwise, my favourite choices would be something like a spirulina or a barley grass powder. What makes the orgasm in this watermelon orgasm is the fact that we're going to have goji berries in there, we're going to have hemp seed in there, shelled hemp seed, and some hemp oil to get our omegas in, to get our great fats in, and to get some amazing protein in there. There is actually quite a bit of protein in the watermelon seeds. Now, lots of people spit out the seeds, and people have got lazy and got in the habit of having seedless watermelon. But those seeds are pretty much my favourite seed on the planet. In many countries they do actually just eat packets of watermelon seeds, and they're actually very high in protein. And of course, you need to eat a lot of them, but in a good watermelon there are going to be several hundred seeds. It's going to make it a whole food. It's going to add protein to the good carbohydrate, it's going to add some good fats in there, but we're just going to boost up this watermelon smoothie an extra bit, because there is quite a bit of carbohydrate and good fruit sugars in there, but by balancing it out with either just the hemp part, it's a great way to get hemp in, it's a great way to make that watermelon smoothie something that's just fruity and juicy into something that's creamy. As well as that, a way to get our goji berries in, which aren't necessarily the easiest thing to eat on their own. I love chewing them, but if you can blend them into a recipe like this, fantastic. The watermelon, like many of these red fruits, are also rich in malic acid, which is excellent for softening all the organs and the liver. Great if you're about to do a liver cleanse. We always want to blend the creamiest, hardest things first, but we do need some of the juice, the liquid, or some water in there just to start it off. So the first thing I'm going to put in there, I'm going to cut along the bottom and chuck it into the blender. What we want to make sure is that when we turn those blades on, that thing blends. So we've got some spin going on there. To that, we're going to add some fantastic goji berries and shelled hemp seed. And with those two, we're going to blend it until we've got a nice thick cream, and all the harder bits, which is the hemp seed and the dried goji berries and the watermelon seeds, are going to be smooth and creamy. So here we go. And the trick is to not add so much water, juiciness, fruit liquid at the beginning that the harder bits don't get blended. We want to add just enough so that it blends. So at this point we can add the rest of the watermelon. I'm going to slice up some more watermelon. Here we're going to finish off with an extra tablespoon per person of some lovely emerald hemp oil, full of essential fatty acids, omega-3 and 6, in the perfect ratio from the human body, from one of the planet's greatest superfoods. So here we go, this is version 1 of the watermelon orgasm.
Seeds! Rich in zinc and iron, they say taste so nutty.
I'm videoing this, I'll put it online.